Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, the idea that what happens when government becomes far too restrictive is that people find ways around it? Well, we have some viable proof currently out of Venezuela. And it came this weekend. This weekend, on Zero Hedge, a gentleman by the name of Fabio Zerpa explained exactly what's going on in Caracas. In that, things such as haircuts and parking lot attendance time are being handled by barter in many instances because the government doesn't have currency available for people to use. And it's because the currency has been so overinflated. In fact, it sounds almost like Venezuela has reached the point that is jokingly referred to about in Europe and in the United States that Russia reached, which is where a loaf of bread costs an entire wheelbarrow full of money, and you can't get the wheelbarrow through the door, and if you leave the wheelbarrow at the door, you'll come back to no wheelbarrow and a pile of money. That's because people won't touch the money, but they want the wheelbarrow. So, according to this article, a gentleman the other day swapped time in a parking lot for a loaf of bread, and the attendant gave him some spare change for walking around with. And that there are Facebook pages and chat rooms going up all over the world discussing what can be bartered on Venezuelan streets from toothpaste to baby formula and how to swap for it. Now, all of this is going on under the government's gaze and is basically just a step way back several hundred years away from currencies. And it's actually quite sad. Now, another example is that some barbers are actually exchanging yuccas, bananas, and eggs for haircuts. The gentleman that created this bit of information talks about the fact that a fast food owner near him let him leave with an order of chicken, rice, and vegetables, relying on the fact that he promised to come back with the 800,000 bolivars. Now, bolivar is a single unit of Venezuelan currency. And when a single dinner is 800,000 of them, that kind of shows you the actual worth of the currency at this point. I mean, at this point, the bolivar isn't even worth the material it's printed on. And that's pretty much what happens in a society is it pushes this nationalistic concept. You lose all national worth. Now, how far is their country going to collapse before they return to capitalism? Well, that's really going to depend on them. But it looks like it's already returned to capitalism is the problem. See, this is the reason that many of the socialists and communists don't get. People need stuff. And stuff has value. The currency doesn't have value. It never did. Nowhere in history really was currency the value of what it was. What it is it's a representation of some other value you already have. One that society has agreed to use as a medium of exchange. That's all currency ever was. And so these ideas, these nationalist ideas and these big government ideas, all they really do is they control the currency. They don't control the people. And when you get this much control over the currency, people just quit using it. And that's what's happening in Venezuela right now. It happened in Russia. It's currently going on in Cuba. In Cuba, people make thousands of units of currency, and they can't do anything with it in many cases. In Russia, people were making plenty of money. They were making plenty of pre-fall of the USSR Russian rubles, but they weren't worth anything. And that's where you come into the problem. Now, I'm going to include the link to this Zero Hedge article in the description down below. I'm also going to include my other social media sites. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification button down below on my YouTube channel, or if you're coming over and watching me on BitChute, then thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, have yourself a great day.